I think Norwegians have a linguistic privilege similar to Americans. Hear me out. Watching the World Cup this year has been really fun because teams like Norway, who haven't gone far in a while, are actually doing really well. And it's been fun to see their superstar Haaland get a lot of attention from American media for the first time. At least the first time for people who aren't very into soccer. But one thing I've noticed is that aside from the occasional spelling error, he has impeccable Scandinavian English.
Just Jersey, the country, the passion.
And obviously English is the language of the internet, so it makes sense that he'd use it a lot, but you can't really say the same thing for other soccer stars like Messi, Ronaldo, or Mbappe, all of whom speak English but much less fluently. In fact, it's actually pretty hard to find clips of Messi speaking English. And I would argue that this is not just a coincidence and not just a result of the public education in their countries. In Norway, up to 90% of people are able to speak English with some level of fluency. And actually a lot of this is the result of exposure completely outside of the classroom. People often talk about how this is the result of the lack of Norwegian overdubs of English language movies because it's a smaller market and it's expensive. So they just grow up hearing English a lot and then they learn it. But there's a reason they're able to do that so easily. English and Norwegian are similar for a lot of reasons. Firstly, they share a common ancestor from about 2,000 years ago. It's called Proto-Germanic, and so along with other Germanic languages like German and Dutch, it has a lot of similarities with English. This includes basic vocabulary, the grammar of the language, and the sound as well. The sound thing is especially important to how native their accents sound. And in addition to this common ancestor, English and Scandinavian languages like Norwegian and Swedish have interacted a lot throughout history. And in many ways, their grammars have evolved in parallel. This is why US Foreign Services often considers Norwegian one of the easiest languages for English speakers to learn. And of course, vice versa is true. So people born in an English-speaking country have an enormous advantage being raised speaking the global lingua franca. But people don't often talk about the fact that there's a similar privilege for people who speak a language very similar to the global lingua franca. A privilege that isn't shared by people who speak less related languages, even within Europe.